And we're now getting ready for the first of the women's quarterfinals in the C1 obstacle. We've got some great quarterfinals coming your way. The first one will involve Marlena Durachova from Slovakia. It's an all-Slovakian quarterfinal. That's just the luck of the draw. Unfortunately, it's an all-Slovakian quarterfinal. Marlena Durachova on platform A, closest to the camera. Platform B, furthest from the camera, is Emanuela Luknerova. It's just first past the post now. The wind has picked up. It's heading straight into the faces of the girls now. So when they head for home after they get to the halfway stage, they will have the wind at their back, but they're going to have to work really, really hard in the first half of this race. The two Slovakian girls, Durachova on platform A, Lutnerova platform B. White flags are up. We're ready to go. Durachova was very fast this morning. She was the first fastest through in 1:28.27. They are underway, and closest to the camera it is Durachova, who I think hit the water fastest, but her Slovakian teammate is also going very fast on the opposite side of the course. No chance here of these guys taking it easy. They are out to beat each other. Maybe there's a place in the Slovakian team up for grabs. It is closest to camera, Durachova, just ahead of Luknerova from Slovakia on the other side of the course. Both Slovakians as they head down to the reverse turn, and it looks like it may be Luknerova just ahead of Durachova, but there's nothing in it. They head down towards the middle of the course and the Eskimo roll. It's going to be Durachova that turns first. She's working hard here. She gets into position for the Eskimo roll. She's over and up. On the other side of the course, it's Luknerova. She's also through. They turn now to head for home, and it's Durachova just in front of her Slovakian teammate. Durachova closest to the camera. She's putting in some very hard yards here. They go down past the third last turn. Durachova leading from Lutnerova. Don't worry about the clock. It all comes down to who's first past the post. You can see the wind and the difference it makes when it's at your tail, that's for sure, as they head around that second last turn. Durachova ahead of her teammate Luknerova. It's Durachova turns first. She's gone on the wrong side of the post. She's absolutely botched it up. Luknerova goes past her, looks over her, and goes straight over the finish line. That is a disaster, an absolute disaster for Durachova from Slovakia. And look at her, she is so upset. She had that race in the bag, and on her form this morning, she probably thought she had the gold medal in the bag, but she has blown it. On the very last turn, she tried to cut it early. She's devastated. She's got her head in her hands. Her teammate comes over now. I don't know that she'd be aware of what's happened, but she comes over to console her teammate. She comes over now and grabs hold of her hand, but she is probably inconsolable as we speak because she blew that. She had that race for the taking. She is devastated. That is such an unfortunate result for Marlena Durachova from Slovakia. And she's head in her hands and just really, really upset, obviously, about what has unfolded. Anyway, let's turn now to the second of the quarterfinals. Platform A, closest to the camera, it's Zola Lewandowski from Germany. And on the far side, it's the Italian Elena Borgi, who was the quickest through the repechage and was very fast. Very fast in the repechage. White flags go up. This will be a very good race. Lewandowski from Germany, Borgi from Italy. Gun is in the air. We're about to start. Go! And they're off. And it's Borgi who hits the water first and heads straight towards the first of the obstacles. Elena Borgi from Italy on the far side of the course. Lewandowski going into the teeth of the breeze. It's really tough going. She gets there now, but it's Borgi who turns first. Now Lewandowski with the wind at her back heads down to the middle part of the course. Goes around that second turn. It's very close. Borgi on the far side of the course. Lewandowski closest to camera. They head now to the reverse turn. Lewandowski again pushing into that wind. Gets around the reverse turn. Borgi, though, turns first. They head towards the middle part of the course. The wind, I think, is really making a difference as they get towards the centre part. And this is the roll. This is where the roll happens. We go over now. Borgi is over and up the other side. Lewandowski is also over and up. Lewandowski had a better roll, I think. She turns for home marginally in front. She'll have the wind at her back now, though, as she heads down this section of the course. It's Zola Lewandowski from Germany. Elena Borgi from Italy. Lewandowski has a slight lead as they head towards the second last turn, the reverse turn. They've got to get this right. Borgi with the wind at her back now, managing to make up a bit of ground. Lewandowski being very careful around that turn. Borgi gets around as well. They have one more turn to go. It's incredibly close. Lewandowski with the wind at her back, though, gets to that final turn. She has a slight advantage as they head for the finish line. There's not much in it, though. It's Lewandowski and Borgi, but Lewandowski from Germany will get there first. She's just managed to get there ahead of the Italian Elena Borgi. And I've got to say, when you watch these paddlers, the wind is quite strong, and when you are paddling into it, you can tell the difference for the paddlers, how hard it is. And then when they turn and they have the wind at the back, it certainly looks like it's much, much easier. So they'll need to take that into account. But Lewandowski, Zola Lewandowski, is through to the semi-finals. The third semi-final. We have the Iranian, Nirvana Azatbeki. She's in lane A. Huang Zhan from China is in lane B. Looks like the Chinese girl ran into some trouble at the start, but they're underway now. It's Azatbeki from Iran, closest to the camera. She gets around the first turn ahead, but not by much. The Chinese girl Huang Zhan is now making up a bit of ground. They head to turn 2. It's still the girl from Iran, Azatbeki, slightly ahead, but she's pushing into the wind now and really doing it tough. Azatbeki from Iran gets to the third turn, and indeed it is the Chinese girl who now has the advantage. She races around that reverse turn and heads towards the middle of the course. Pushing into that breeze, though, it really is making a difference as they turn together and they head for the roll now, and we'll see who goes. They both go over at exactly the same time, and they come up at the same time. Maybe it was the girl from China who did the better of the rolls. Maybe it was Azatbeki, but I think it was Huang from China. And they head for home, and it's Azatbeki from Iran. Huang from China. It's Iran who's just in front with the wind at her back. Now she turns though, and she's got some work in front of her. Huang hoists the spinnaker. Look at her race down with the wind in her tail. She is flying around that part of the course. This is the reverse turn. It's Huang from China, Azatbeki from Iran. Nothing in this race at all. The Iranian with the wind now pushing down to that final turn. They turn together. This is the race for home. It's Huang from China, Azatbeki from Iran. Azatbeki from Iran, Huang from China. Huang from China, Azatbeki. The Iranian got there, I think, just. Azatbeki from Iran, I think, lunged and got there first. Not by much, though. On the TV, you can see Azatbeki has been declared the winner, but let's look at the time. It's going to be pretty close. Oh, yes. Azatbeki just 1:33.7 ahead of 1:38.7 for Huang from China. So Azatbeki just lunging at the finish to get across the line. Closest race so far of the quarterfinals. And now the last of the quarterfinals. The last race to determine the last of the semi-finalists. It's Clara Gonzalez from Spain up against Eva Hocevar from Slovenia. Hocevar competed yesterday in the K1. Here she is in the C1. Had a good day yesterday. Can she have a good day again today? Gonzalez closest to the camera. Ready to go. And we're off. No mucking around here. They hit the water together. It's looks like on the far side of the course, Hocevar has got the better of the start. They head down towards the first turn. Gonzalez from Spain closest to the camera, but it's Hocevar who turns first. Heads straight into the teeth of the breeze now across the course. As Gonzalez from Spain making up a bit of ground, but Hocevar paddling really strong, having to work hard with that breeze. It's Eva Hocevar from Slovenia ahead of Clara Gonzalez from Spain. They turn into the reverse turn. It's really tight at the moment. There they go. They're heading towards the centre part of this race, and they're going to get there at about the same time, I think. If anything, it looks like it's Clara Gonzalez from Spain who turns first. Let's see the Eskimo roll. Here she goes. She's over. She's up. That's a nice roll. No time lost there. No time lost either for Eva. Oh, a little bit for Eva Hocevar, but she's corrected herself now. But Clara Gonzalez turns for home first with the wind at her back. Here she goes down to the third last turn. Gets there without any problems at all. Now she turns and she'll go into a little bit of a breeze here as Hocevar takes advantage of the strong wind at her back. They go down now to do the reverse turn. Clara Gonzalez from Spain holding that lead. She gets around the obstacle. She's still in front. Hocevar doing everything she possibly can to get back into this race. But it's Clara Gonzalez from Spain in front of her home crowd. She turns and heads for the finish line. Eva Hocevar doing her best to get back into this. Clara Gonzalez going up and down in the one spot, but she'll hold on. She will hold on. Clara Gonzalez from Spain gets there ahead of Eva Hocevar from Slovenia. A very well judged race for Clara Gonzalez from Spain. She is through to the semi-final, so we will have an athlete from Slovakia, an athlete from Germany, an athlete from Iran, and an athlete from Spain in the semi-finals of the women's C1 obstacle race. Fantastic racing there for the girls. I'd hate to try and pick a winner. I would really hate to try and pick a winner out of that. Let's look at the times. Luknerova went around in 1:31.96. Lewandowski was 1:29.77. Azatbeki 1:30.37. Gonzalez was the slowest of the quarterfinals, 1:32.45. So the quickest semi-final, the quickest quarterfinal was Lewandowski from Germany, just ahead of Azatbeki from Iran. Try and pick a winner from that though. That is a really tight group heading into the semi-finals of the women's C1. They'll be coming up soon, but we're now preparing ourselves for the quarterfinal of the men's obstacle. We have athletes here from the Czech Republic, from Belgium, from France, from Germany, from Slovenia, from Slovakia, from Argentina, and from Spain. There are 8 nations represented here in this race. 7 of them are European, and 1 from the Americas. We are preparing now for the first of the men's quarterfinals. On platform A, the very impressive Czech, Jakub Krečky. On platform B, from Belgium, Adrian Behetz. Must feel like an absolute eternity ago when Jakub Krečky was out here on the course. The conditions have changed a lot since he was out here the first time. He's now got a pretty strong wind to deal with. We are 1 minute away from a start. Jakub Krečky from the Czech Republic, platform A, closest to the camera. On the far side of the course, it's Adrian Behetz from Belgium. Waiting for the white flags. There they go. 1 is up, 2 is up. We're ready to go. Starter raises the gun. Krečky, impressive this morning. Can he match that form this afternoon? We've already seen the top-seeded lady get into trouble and is out of the semi-finals. Krečky needs to hold his nerve. And we're underway. A nice clean start. They hit the water together, but Krečky really fast. He's straight into his paddle. Across on the other side of the course, it's Behetz from Belgium. They go down to the first turn. Krečky, whoa, he's fast. He gets around that first turn without any problems at all, but Behetz is keeping up with him. Krečky really smooth around that turn. This guy is a good slalom paddler. He's coming down now to do the reverse turn. He has the lead. He gets around that first turn without too much problems at all. Heading towards the middle of the course, it's Krečky from the Czech Republic. Very impressive indeed. Here he is at the halfway stage. Does the Eskimo roll. Comes up a little bit offline, but he's okay. He's got a really comfortable lead. Behetz, his Eskimo roll is also clean. But it's Jakub Krečky from the Czech Republic. Have a look at this kid go. He does know how to paddle. He's around the third last pole without too many problems at all. Here he comes down now. He's only got himself to beat now. As long as he doesn't... Oh, he nearly went around too soon, but he got there okay. He's done the reverse turn. He's got one more turn to consolidate. Gets around it. He's through, so no problems at all from Jakub Krečky. He runs down to the line. Let's have a look at his time. He's easing down, though. He eases down across the line and does it in 1:10.2. Wow. He is slippery. He is very, very slippery paddler. When you look at the time Benjamin Keith set, he was the fastest in the repechage of 1:13.76. And we have just seen Jakub Krečky go through in 1:10.57, and he stopped paddling 2 meters from the end. So he can go even quicker. What an impressive young man. He will take a world of beating this afternoon. Maybe, though, Tom Bouchardin from France, maybe he's the man to throw down the challenge. He's up against Benjamin Keys now from Germany. It's Bouchardin from France on platform A, closest to the camera. Keys from Germany, platform B. I wonder whether they saw Jakub Krečky's performance then. They could not fail to be impressed with that paddling performance by the young man from the Czech Republic. That was then, no, this is now. Tom Bouchardin. Ready to go. Starter raises the gun in the air. They are ready for him. Is he ready for them? Yes, he is. Here we go. Oh, I think, well, he certainly got out of... It's been given the all clear, but Benjamin Key's got an absolute flyer out of the starting blocks. He'll hit the first turn, but no, it's in fact Tom Bouchardin who's made up that ground already. Benjamin Key's got a flyer, the German, out of the first block, but look at Tom Bouchardin. He is charging around this course. Coming up now to the third turn, the reverse turn, he's already managed to get back the lead, and he has a nice little break over Benjamin Keys from Germany. It's Tom Bouchardin from France, heading down to the middle part of the course. He has to do a nice clean Eskimo roll. He's got a comfortable lead. This has been an impressive first leg for a guy who missed the start. Tom Bouchardin from France heads now for the final stretch. Everything's been good so far. He just needs to make sure he gets everything in order. Don't take any risks. Tom Bouchardin around the third last turn. Heads now towards the reverse turn. He wouldn't know what's going on behind him. He has his back to Benjamin Lees. He turns now. He'll look across. He'll see that he's got this race under control. Just get around this final turn and the race is his. Tom Bouchard, oh, he cuts it fine, but he's got there okay. Pushes in towards the line now. That's a good race there from Tom Bouchard, and his time is even quicker. Oh my goodness, these guys have come here to really work hard. 109.7. Officially 110.16. So he's gone quicker than Kretschky, but Kretschky was slowing down a lot at the finish. But this is setting the scene for what could be a great afternoon of racing. The Frenchman, Tom Bouchard, well and truly beaten out of the start by the German Benjamin Keys, who got a flyer. But Bouchard had him reeled in by the second turn and then put some distance between himself and the German. Impressive. Very impressive. Against Ilya. Racing today already. He had a rerun, a repechage. So he's spent a bit of time on the water. He'd probably be a little bit more familiar with the wind than Tomic, who went through in the first run today. Already, two very impressive paddlers are through to the semi-finals. Jakub Kretschky from the Czech Republic, Tom Bouchard from France. Just adjusting Buran's boat a little bit. We have one of the white flags is up. Are you ready, says the starter? Yes, I am, says Ilya Buran. The second flag goes up. The starter raises his gun. The third quarterfinal about to get underway. And they're off. They hit the water together. Ilya Buran on the far side of the course. Lan Tomic closest to camera. They head out to the first turn, and it's really close. Buran turns first ahead of Tomic. It's Buran on the far side of the course, but not by much. Tomic trying to reel him in. Buran, there is nothing in it. Yeah, they head towards in front though. Out of the Eskimo roll, crooked wet is also okay. He's not the best at Eskimo rolls. I've got to say that much about Ilya Buran. Lan Tomic now, he heads for home with a slight lead. He'll look across now and see that he is tracking ahead of Buran from Slovenia. Problems at all. He'll look across now and again. He'll realise that he's got a good little lead here over Ilya Buran. So it's Lan Tomic heading for home now. That is a good, comfortable win for the man from Slovenia. Lan Tomic, 110.3 unofficially. So another good time. 110.78 is the official time. He was slowing down a little bit too. So a good run there from Lan Tomic from Slovenia. Buran certainly looks fast over the water, but his Eskimo roll does let him down a lot. Needs to work on that. The last of the quarterfinals, and it's the man from Argentina, Naul Eskimo Pudja. He's closest to the camera. There is the Spaniard, Joao Rodriguez Lopez. We've already got a Spaniard through in the women's event. Can we get a Spaniard through in the men's? The scene is already set for some fantastic semi-finals. Who will be the last piece of the jigsaw? Eskimo Pudja, platform A. Rodriguez Lopez, platform B. White flag goes up. Ready to rumble. Let's get this race underway. The starter raises the gun. Are you ready? Yes, we are. On your marks. Off they go. And it's on the far side of the course. Maybe Rodriguez Lopez hits the water first. He's certainly up and at it quicker than his opponent, Escobar Puja from Argentina. It's the Spaniard who turns first, Rodriguez Lopez. They head towards the second turn, and it's the Spaniard who maintains his lead, but not by much. The Argentinian putting in some hard work here. They go down to the reverse turn, and in fact it's the Argentinian, maybe Escobar Puja, just ahead as they head towards them. The Argentinian, no problems at all for the Spaniard. They head for home. Puja with the spinnakers in the wind. It is Escobar Puja from Argentina, still ahead of Rodriguez Lopez from Spain. He's got himself into a little bit of bother around that turn, but he'll look across now. He'll see he has a comfortable lead. No need to panic, young man. Gets around that final bend, looks to the finish line, and will win slowing down. The man from Argentina, Escobar Puja, just cruising across the finish line. So that is a very impressive paddle. The Argentinians have been impressive all week in every discipline, and they are going to put on a great show in Buenos Aires later this year, no doubt about that. 1:11.56, so the slowest of the 4 quarterfinals. But really, I would take no notice of the times at all, because in every race the winner was clearly determined a long way from the finish, and so there was no need to push themselves to the finish line. But I think we're going to be in for a real crackerjack semi-final. Some really good racing there, some good young paddlers, so looking forward to that. So we've got a bit of a break here. We have some reruns programmed, and we're coming back for the first of the women's semi-finals, which is set down for 4:45 Central European time, which is in around half an hour from now. So join us then, and we'll bring you All right, we are now heading towards the semi-finals. The semi-finals of the women's C1. We are in for a couple of good races here, I can tell you. The first semi-final will up against the Slovakian. Wrong turn, went too early on a turn and it cost her dearly. So a little bit fortunate to get through, but she'll make the most of it. Lewandowski was the quickest in the semis. So it's Lewandowski closest to the camera. Luknerova on platform B. So A is closest to the camera. Looking for a place in the final. White flags go up. We're off. We're underway in the first semi-final. It's Lewandowski closest to the camera from Germany. Luknerova from Slovakia on the far side. It's Lewandowski who looks like she's got the better of the start as they go down to the first turn, although it's really close. It's Lewandowski from Germany. Luknerova from Slovakia. They head down to the midway part of the course, and it's the German Lewandowski from Germany. She will turn for the Eskimo roll. It's Lewandowski from the rover. Let's see how the Eskimo roll goes. She's over and she's up. No problems there for the German. No problems there for the Slovakian. They are both clear. Now they head for home. Who's got the best finish in them? It's Lewandowski from Germany. She's making every post a winner at this stage. She goes around the third last turn. No problems at all. Comes down now for the spin, the compulsory spin, and then one more turn and she can head for home. She's got a comfortable lead at the moment, but Luknerova is throwing everything at her, trying to get back into this race. But the German just needs to hold her nerve. Zola Lewandowski heads down to the final turn, gets around it now, looks for home, and off she goes. She's got her head down. She's paddling as hard as she can. It is Zola Lewandowski, crosses the finish line now. It's not a fast time by any stretch of the imagination. Times don't matter though. She just wants to get through to the final, and she's there. And she's pretty happy about it too. Just look at that smile. That is a great smile from Zola Lewandowski from Germany. Tough, tough work. It is tough going out there in these windy conditions. Now, semi-final 2. Closest to the camera. It's Nirvana Azatbeki. Nirvana Azatbeki from Iran. On the far side of the course, it's the local hope, Clara Gonzalez from Spain. Azatbeki from Iran. Gonzalez from Spain. You can see the flags in the background. You can see the wind is causing a couple of dramas today. The white flags go up. We are ready for a start. Semi-final number 2. Iran v Spain. And they're off, and they now, but she went over, turned too sharp. Maybe the wind flipped her over, but she has lost a lot of ground. She ready though, because Gonzalez is putting in some hard yards trying to get back into it. But Nirvana Azatbeki from Iran has this race at her by the throat if she wants it. It's Nirvana Azatbeki. She gets around the spin. She heads towards the halfway part stage of the course, and the pulse is so hard. She's done well to get back up. Oh! Azatbeki, not a clean Eskimo roll by any measure. Now, Gonzalez goes over as well. She's done a clean roll. I'll tell you what, she's caught up. She's caught up considerably. The girl from Spain. This has been an incredible performance. But how much has she got left in the tank? Asset Becky from Iran turns first. She's got a clear lead at the moment. But look at the girl from Spain, Gonzalez. She is working really hard. She goes around that spin turn now. She has some work to do. It's Asset Becky from Iran, Gonzalez from Spain. She's throwing everything at her, but I think it's going to be too much. It's the girl from Iran, Nirvana Asset Becky. She turns for home, heads to the finish line. She'll cross first. Clara Gonzalez, what a gallant performance from this young lady from Spain after absolutely botching the start and flipping the boat over. And she throws her paddle away in disgust. Clara Gonzalez just throws her paddle. She is so disappointed, but she made an absolute mess of that start. We haven't seen anyone do that all weekend, and what a time to do it in the semi-final. Unfortunately for Clara Gonzalez, gallant performance by her to get back in the race, but let's not take anything away from the girl from Iran, Nirvana Azatbeki. A lot of work to do yet, though. We've now got the men's semi-finals. What high drama we've had in the women's semi-finals. And I think we are now in for some absolutely fantastic racing from the men. Very even this morning or this afternoon in the quarterfinals. The times were impressive. The first semi-final will be between the Frenchman, Tom Bouchardin, closest to the camera. On the far side of the course, it's Lan Tomic from Slovenia. They both look tense. Tom Bouchardin from France. Lan Tomic from Slovenia. We await the starters' orders. We're about a minute away from the start now. Flags go up. We're under starters' orders. Bouchardin from France, closest to the camera. Tomic from Slovenia on the far side of the course. The starter checks his watch. Gun goes in the air. We're about to get underway. The first semi-final, and we go, and they hit the water together, no problems at all, and look at them charge away. Tomic on the far side of the course, really going like a scolded cat. He gets around that first turn without any problems at all. He holds a slight lead over the Frenchman Bouchardin. It is Tomic going like the clappers. He is really putting in some hard yards here. Heads down to turn 3, the spin, and he gets around first. He has built up a very impressive early lead. The man from Slovenia, Lan Tomic, I'll be interested in this time. He is really going quick. They get to the centre part of the race. Tomic now turns first. He's up and over. No problems with his roll. The Frenchman as well. He's clear. They head for home. It's Tomic on the far side of the course. Bouchardin closest to the camera. Tomic in the lead. Bouchardin throwing everything at him. It's the man from Slovenia though. Tomic, he's doing everything right so far. Has Bouchardin got anything left? He's really digging deep, but it looks like Tomic has this race under control. He's got one more turn to go. This has been a very impressive performance from the man from Slovenia. Lan Tomic turns now, heads to the finish line. That is a very good race, and what a time. 1:08.7 unofficial. He really raced down that course, because I can tell you, Tom Bouchardin is no slouch. But Lan Tomic has flown, absolutely flown through that course. 1:08.50 for Lan Tomic. He has thrown down the challenge. But the man sitting here on platform 8, closest to the camera, Jakub Krečki, is a very impressive paddler. The man from the Czech Republic, Jakub Krečki, he won't have it all his own way here though, because Nahul Esquibo Puja, he's a fighter. The Argentinian, he is a fighter. Oh, but I'll tell you what, I wonder if they've seen what Tomic has just done, because it's hard not to be impressed by that performance. Really pinning the ears back and going for it. His time, really just a smart race. 1:08.50. Just trying to find out what Krečki did in the first race of the day today, time-wise. I think he was around a 1:08 as well, but that was in pretty good conditions. Those conditions no longer exist. Krečki did a... Oh, we're underway. We'll come back to that. They hit the water as one. It's Krečki closest to the camera who races down towards the first of the obstacles. Jakub Krečki from the Czech Republic turns first. The Argentinian gets around as well. It's Jakub Krečki from the Czech Republic who is leading at the moment. He's already built up a sizable lead on the Argentinian, Jakub Krečki. They turn into the spin. It's Jakub Krečki who continues to dominate this race as they head down towards the halfway stage. He's got a sizable lead now as they get into the Eskimo roll section of the course. Jakub Krečki is over and up. He's underway, and the Argentinian is over and up. Esquibo Puja. Krečki, though, he has this race at his mercy. He just needs to hold his nerve. Off he goes on the way home around the first turn, heading towards the spin. Krečki from the Czech Republic, Esquibo Puja from Argentina, trying to get back with him. They get around the second last turn. It's still Krečki from the Czech Republic who is holding this race together. Around the final turn, he heads for home. He has this in the bag. He looks over his shoulder. Wow, that's confidence. Looks again just to make sure and cruises over the line. Cruises over the line. He looked over his shoulder twice to make sure that everything was okay. He saw it was. He saw he didn't need to bust a gut. He did what he had to do. And he cruises to victory. Now, two pretty impressive performances in the quarterfinal and semi-finals for Jakub Krečki. His time this morning was 1:08.29, and we know that Tomic did a 1:08.5, so Krečki was quicker, but the conditions were much better when Krečki was on course, I think, in the qualifications. So the finalists. The finalists for the gold medal, it'll be Jakub Krečki from the Czech Republic, Lan Tomic from Slovenia, and for the bronze, it will be the Frenchman Tom Bouchardin against the Argentinian Now Escobar Puja. So we will be back. Let me tell you, at this stage, the bronze medal race is for the obstacle. The women's obstacle is scheduled for 5:30. 5:30 for the women's bronze, so about half an hour from now. So join us then, and we will bring to you all the action here from Barcelona. obstacle, and it will be closest to the camera, Emanuel Lucknerova from Slovakia, and on the far side of the course, from Spain, Clara Gonzalez. Now Gonzalez made a mess of her start in the semi-final and was really out of the race from the get-go, so she'll be determined to make a bit of a statement here for sure. Lucknerova had a bit of good fortune in her race, where in her quarterfinal, where her highly rated opponent, also from Slovakia, took a wrong turn, went around one of the markers too early, so gifted that race to Lucknerova. This is for the bronze medal. The fictitious bronze medal, I should say. Beautiful blue skies, a bit of wind out there though, you can see the flags fluttering as we await the starter's orders. We are 1 minute away from a start. The white flags go up. The bronze medal race. Lucknerova from Slovakia, closest to the camera. Gonzalez on platform B. The starter checks his watch. Raises his gun. On your marks. Go! They are off, and it is closest to the camera. It is this time, thank goodness, Gonzalez gets away cleanly on platform B, but it's Lucknerova from Slovakia who's got away the quickest. They head down to the first turn. Gonzalez, though, has gone really quick over that first stretch. She turns first, ahead of Lucknerova from Slovakia. It's Gonzalez from Spain just ahead as they get to the second turn. Gonzalez from Spain from Lucknerova from Slovakia. On the far side of the course, it's Gonzalez from Spain who's still holding the lead as they go into the spin. Gonzalez turns first, gets around really quickly. Lucknerova trying to pull her back as they head towards the halfway stage. It will be, I think, Gonzalez turning first, although not much in it. No, maybe Lucknerova, but it is dead level as they turn now. Lucknerova goes over and up. She is looking good. Gonzalez does her turn, no problems there either. They head for home. It is the Slovakian maybe just ahead. Emanuel Lucknerova closest to the camera. Gonzalez in lane B, trying to pull it back. Lucknerova turns first. They have 2 turns to go. It is anybody's race for the bronze medal. They come down now to the spin turn. It is going to be Lucknerova and Gonzalez. It is Lucknerova just in front of Gonzalez, but it is incredibly tight. They come down now. They've got 1 more turn to go. Who can finish the strongest? I think it's going to be Lucknerova. She turns first. She's put in a good spurt there. She makes a bit of distance on her opponent from Spain. And it's Emanuela Lucknerova who will pick up the bronze medal. What a good, well-judged race there from the Slovakian. Emanuela Lucknerova. The bronze medal is hers. Congratulations. Well, certainly the Spaniard Clara Gonzalez was there for most of the race, but Lucknerova just putting in a burst on the second of the last obstacles, putting in a bit of gap between the two. All right, this is going to be a fantastic race. This is the gold medal. This is Lewandowski, Zola Lewandowski from Germany on platform A, closest to the camera. On the far side, from Iran, Nirvana Azatbeki. Lewandowski versus Azatbeki for the gold medal in the women's C1 obstacle slalom. Azatbeki, great story from Iran. Such a fast developing nation in canoeing. The white flags go up. The athletes are ready. The starter checks his watch. Picks up the gun. We are close to a start. The German perhaps starting a close favourite, but there's nothing in it between these two athletes. Waiting for the clock to tick over. The starter is ready, raises the gun. We are underway. It's Lewandowski closest to camera. Azatbeki from Iran on the far side of the course. Neither girl gets a really clean start, but they get into their rhythm now. It looks like Lewandowski from Germany will be the early leader. She takes the first turn with a slight advantage over Azatbeki from Iran. It's Zola Lewandowski heading down now for the second turn. She's already built up a reasonable lead over the Iranian. Zola Lewandowski, she's paddling really strong. What has the Iranian got? Can she pull back this gap? It's Zola Lewandowski with a solid lead at the moment, but they're only just short of halfway at the moment, and we'll see what happens with the Eskimo roll. They come into the end zone now. Zola Lewandowski will turn first, and Azat Becky is over and up as well. She is clear. They head for home. Lewandowski looks comfortable. Lewandowski, she's paddled well all day. She's going to be a worthy winner. The girl from Germany, Zola Lewandowski. She successfully negotiates that second last turn. She has one more to go and the gold medal will be hers. Young lady turns for home, puts the head down, paddles hard, crosses the finish line now. Congratulations. You finished, Zola. Well done. Zola Lewandowski, a worthy gold medalist. Nirvana Azatbeki crosses now for the silver. A good performance from the Iranian, but Lewandowski, you cannot take anything away from her. She has paddled well all day. Fantastic effort from the German. 1:29.51 her winning time. The gold medal goes to Zola Lewandowski from Germany. Silver to Nirvana Azatbeki from Iran. Third place, Emanuel Letnerova from Slovakia. And Clara Gonzalez from Spain finishes fourth. Now we turn our attention to the boys. The bronze will be between Tom Bouchardin from France and Nahu Esquibo Pugia from Argentina. We're about 5 minutes or so away from a start. Okay, we're getting ready now for the first of the camera. It's the Frenchman, Tom Bouchardin. Now Esquibo Pugia. Bouchardin looking relaxed, waves to the fans. Esquibo Pugia from Argentina. The wind blowing through his hair. Just thinking about the task in front of him. It's been a fantastic week of racing. We've had 4 great days of competition, which has really set the scene for what I'm sure is going to be a fantastic Youth Olympics in Argentina later this year. We're going to see some quality canoe racing from Some exciting athletes for from the future. Ooh, poor old now Escobar Pugia, I think for a moment there thought he was heading for an early swim. They've sorted the situation out. Both athletes look ready. We're still 2 minutes away from a start. 5:41 is the official start time for this bronze medal race. Tom Bouchardin from France, closest to the camera. Now Escobar Pugia from Argentina. The Argentinians have done really well here this week. I'm sure they'd love to finish off with a bronze medal here in the men's K1. White flags go up. The athletes are ready. The starter gets into position. Puts the gun in the air. We are 20 seconds away from a start. And we're off, and on the far side of the course it looks like Escobar Pugia got the better of the start, but Bouchardin hits the water paddling. He is underway. He's heading for the first turn. It's the Argentinian though who turns first. Escobar Pugia on the far side of the course just ahead of Bouchardin. They get turned down to turn 2. It's dead level as they go through the second turn. They come up now for the spin. The Argentinian Escobar Pugia may be just ahead as they go into the spin, but Bouchardin very neat around that turn. The crowd on the side of the course cheering both athletes on. It's dead level as they get to the halfway stage. We go into the Eskimo roll. The Argentinian goes first. He's over and up. The Frenchman over and up. Both clean. They turn for home. You cannot split the two of them. Who will hold it together for the back half of this race? It's Bouchardin closest to the camera. On the far side, it's Escobar Pugia from Argentina. I cannot pick a winner at this stage. Bouchardin from France looks like he's going okay. But on the far side, Escobar Pugia determined to make a statement. They've got one more turn to go. It's dead level as they turn for home. The Frenchman turns marginally in front, turns the boat for home, heads for the finish line. It's Tom Bouchardin from France who picks up the bronze. But that was a fantastic race from two very determined young men. Tom Bouchardin, when it mattered, at the last stage of the race, was able to dig deep and get his canoe across the line, his kayak across the line. Tom Bouchardin from France finishes third ahead of now Escobar Pugia from Argentina. Both athletes, look at that time, 1:10.42, so they went quicker in the, Bouchardin went quicker earlier on, but that's still a pretty decent time. Now, I am really looking forward to this race because Lan Tomic in the semi-final was absolutely awesome. But Jakub Kreczki has had two races in the quarterfinal and the semi-final that he has blown away his opponents. I don't think we've seen him fully extended yet. This could be the time. I'm expecting something very special here. I'm expecting a time 1:08 or less. But this is going to be a fitting finale for this week of activity because these two young gentlemen are very competent slalom paddlers. Lan Tomic from Slovenia is closest to the camera. Jakub Kreczki from the Czech Republic is in lane B. The flags go up. This is going to be fast. We await the starter. Kreczki on the far side of the course. Tomic closest to the camera. Who can get the better of the start? And we're off. It's a very even start. They hit the water. They go. Look at them. They are both going incredibly fast. Tomic is so fast out of the blocks. He hits the first turn first. But look at Kreczki. He's been pushed for the first time and he is digging deep. They head down to the second turn. It's the Slovenian just in front, Tomic. But look at Kreczki go. Tomic still in front, digging deep. water flying everywhere. They go around that third turn together, the spin. They head towards the middle of the course. There's nothing in this race. It's really what we expected here. It's Tomic, though, in front from Slovenia. Let's watch his turn. He's over. He's up. Not the quickest, but he's... Oh, look at the turn from Krečki. That was special. They're turning now for home, but it's still Tomic in front. He holds the advantage. Krečki looks across. He can't believe he's behind. He's really got to dig deep, but Tomic is doing everything right at the moment. This has been a pretty special race. Jan Tomic comes down to the spin. Spins first. He's got this race under control. This has been a very, very impressive race from Lan Tomic from Slovenia. He's got one more turn. Krečki knows his race is over. And it's Lan Tomic from Slovenia. That is an impressive day's paddling. He crosses the line now. 1:07. I can't believe that time. 1:07 from Lan Tomic from Slovenia. Yes, you can smile, young man. That's been a very, very impressive race. He is a worthy winner. 1:07.12 is the official time for Lan Tomic from Slovenia. Fantastic racing, fantastic to see these young gentlemen heading out there and racing in that form. What a day. They join each other behind the stand, behind the pontoon, shake hands, congratulate each other on what was an outstanding race. Well done to everybody. Oh my goodness, what an eventful week. So just repeating, the gold medal, Lan Tomic from Slovenia, the silver, Jakub Krečki from the Czech Republic, and the bronze to Tom Bouchardin from France. We're going to wrap it up here. I've got to race across to the other side of the course to do some interviews. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. We hope that's whet the appetite for what's to come later this year in Buenos Aires when we head down there for the Youth Olympic Games and what is going to be an absolute showcase of the best young athletes in our sport. We can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you for your company this weekend. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Don't forget, in a few weeks' time, we'll be coming to you live from Szeged for the first of our senior events of the year. It will be World Cup #1 for the Para Canoe and Sprint Canoe. That's coming up early next month, so look forward to bringing you that. But thank you for your company this weekend. See you soon.